Hi, welcome back to the channel. Today we'll be kicking off a series dedicated to the 400 Master Tree. Whether you've just reached 400 for the first time and are unsure how to allocate your Master Tree points, or you've been filling in your tree but are unsure whether the points you've allocated are the best ones for your specific build and build type, stay tuned as we'll be going through all the different classes, whether it be solo killer, party killer. We'll also be looking at support characters, and then finally PvP characters. So in this first installment we'll be looking at all things solo killer. So stay tuned for that and let's get going. Okay then, kicking the series off, we'll be looking at the solo killer. This is a character who you've decided is going to be all on his lonesome. These characters are normally used as farmers, whether that be dual farmers or zen farmers, or a combination of both. Or you just feel like you don't really want to invest in support characters and you just want to grind out the game with as little setup as possible. You'll also be able to find mock-up examples for each character in our Discord server. So feel free to pop over, come say hi, and share your build with us. So we'll be using a website called Vinted Tools. I'll leave a link for it down in the description. But this tool pretty much helps you plan out a master tree for each character in the game. In the top right corner you'll be able to see the season that you can choose, whether there's been a rework of a character that aren't available in previous seasons. Just click on the relevant season for your character and it should bring up the right build tree. So let's use the Grow Lancer as our example character today. So as mentioned, the first tree we're going to look at is the solo killer. The first thing you want to do with any character that reaches 400 is you want to reach their root skill. And these are points placed in the right order in order for you to unlock your 400 skill, which will greatly increase your DPS. In order to do so, for the Grow Lancer, we need 10 points in Oversting Strengthener. So what we'll do is we'll place 10 points here. There's also an easy way of doing this. If you hold down shift and click, it adds 10 points automatically. 10 points there. Then we'll go 10 points into weapon mastery, HP, magic pin power up, mastery, and then 10 points into oversting. That there will give you access to your root skill. That's the first thing you need to go for when building any tree. So find out what the root skill requirements are for your character. Some require more points, some require less points. Dark Lord, for example, only requires 20 points, 10 points in there, and then another 10 points, which would be Fire Burst Strengthener. Right, once you have your root skill unlocked, the next thing you want to do is come over to AG recovery, because your root skill will most probably use a lot of AG, and you want to be able to use your skill without interruption. So we'll add 10 points in there, 10 points in mana recovery, HP recovery, and then you will place points in here to the point where your AG bar isn't dropping significantly anymore, where you can sustain your attack without pausing. After we get to AG recovery, we want to look into defense. So we will add 10 points into defense here, and then 10 points into defense success rate. At this junction, you've got two choices. You can either carry on down to your stat points, or you can head over to the attack tree and increase your DPS. Personally for me, I like to go down the stat route first. So what I'll do is I'll add 10 points in there, and here your stat points are energy, stamina, agility, and strength. Depending on your build, you will place points accordingly. As this is a Grow Lancer, we'll only really be focusing on agility and strength, as we don't have any points allocated in energy or stamina. So what we'll do is we'll add 10 points there and 10 points there, and then after that I like to add 16 points, because that will give you 101 stat points additionally to AGI, and then the same in strength. Some people prefer to go 13 points, as the drop-off becomes too great, because every time you allocate a point here, the stat point you receive drops slightly. So some people like 13. Personally, I like 16. I like to have 101 points. And at this point here, I would then go over to the attack tree. So we put 10 points there to unlock it. And then you kind of want to find anything that will increase your attack power. So in this one here, physical attack power increase, put 10 points there. Double damage, always max that out. So we'll put 20 points there. Because this is an agility grow lancer, we'll add 10 points into wrath. Now we come down, weapon attack power increase, and then I like to go down the route of absorb life, which then unlocks double damage rate and also ignore defense. Two great skills to have. But this is also a very good place to show you guys the importance of reading the descriptions on these, because as you'll see, it doesn't increase it by a full percentage each time, but a fraction of a percentage. The one thing about Moo Online is that it always rounds it down to the nearest whole number. So even though I've got 13 points here, which says 3.38, if I place another point, it says 3.52, the game still reads it as 3. So whatever you do, or whenever you put points in anywhere, just remember that. So on this one here, we want to hit 19. As you can see, 19 will give us 4.09%. If we add another point to make it 20 or 4.18, there is no difference. The game still reads it as 4%. So save your points where you can, and make sure you allocate enough points into other areas where you're not sitting, let's say, at 3.99, which would be quite a disadvantage, as the game will only read it as 3%. So I like to add 19 points here, and then the same with ignore defense, 19 points there. So these are pretty much non-negotiable. You can either go 11, which you can see here will give you 3%, or I prefer the full 19 for 4%. And once again, because this is an AGL, we will be putting points into rage, because it just helps increase the damage of rage. If you're in strength grow lancer, you would be putting points into retaliation. So at this point, you can see we have most of our points filled in. We've got some HP ones that we need to do still. So seeing that we've got that, now we'll put some points into HP as well. On here I like to go 17, and on this one I like to go 12. I don't normally go more on these because it's just diminishing returns at that point. When it comes to elemental defense, don't bother too much about this, because the return on investment for 10 points is 35 elemental defense, whereas if you look at the normal defense, 10 points gives you 333 defense. So it's not really worth it, in my opinion. Save those points elsewhere. At this stage, you'll see that we still have 81 points remaining. Depending on your character and the gear that they've got, if they've got third wings, you can place some points in here for extra defense and attack. I like to put 10-10 if it's a solo killer, and then also shield protection. Over here, once again, if you look at the percentages, if you just put 10 points on, you're sitting at 6.48, which the game will read as 6. But if you go to 12, that's 7.2. So I like to go to 12 on this one, and then on shield block, it's pretty much up to you. You can either go 7, which is 3%, or you can go 12 again, which is 4%. And then here we also have steel armor. So if you're a solo killer, defense is really important, as you will need to protect yourself so you can take less damage and carry on fighting. Steel defense, I like to add 10. So at this point, you can kind of see, well, knowing that it's an AGL, where you're going to need 20 points in AG recovery, and we have 17 points remaining. Those 17 points, if you're playing a solo killer, feel free to place them wherever you feel like it. Whether you want a little bit more points in oversting, or some here in the lance power up, or you might want weapon mastery, min-max attack. Oh, sorry, at this point I completely forgot. You need 10 points in monster attack life increment. So every time you kill a monster, it will replenish your HP, which is pretty much crucial for any single build. For some reason, that slipped my mind completely. So yeah, you want 10 points in there. And now at this juncture, you've got 7 points remaining instead of 17. What I would do is, for the time being anyway, I would hold on to those points, not allocate them, because you might need to put them somewhere specific. So sometimes the attack uses more mana than you can actually recover. So you might want to either do a mana reduction, or a few points into mana recovery when you kill a mob, which works the same as the HP, just the mana version of it. If 7 points aren't enough for you, you can always drop one of these down to 7 like so. Now you got 12 points to spend elsewhere. Yeah, so the main thing you want to look out for when building a solo character is maxing out both defense and attack, kind of like in a balanced situation where you've got enough defense and enough attack to just keep going and surviving. And with that, we've come to the end of our exploration of a solo killer. I hope you found this video helpful. If you have, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, all that other stuff that people always tell you to do. And also bear in mind that master trees are very personal to each player. In our next video, we'll be looking at a party killer and what it looks like to fill out a tree for one of them. So stay tuned for that, take care, and hope to see you back here soon.